So today we're going to stick pretty much with the book because they do things a little bit differently than they would in chemistry class in your book. So we're now on section 12.5, and they start by talking about physical versus conceptual models. So there's two kinds of models in this section, and this comes up, this idea of models, because atoms are too small to see. All right, and since we can't see them, we need to come up with a way to think about them that makes sense to people, something they can wrap their head around. And to do this, we will use models. There are various models of the atom, as you will find out. Some models are physical, like if you make a model boat or if you make a model of a building. It's just something you make with your hands and that you can see, and it's generally just a smaller item than the real thing. And other models are what are called conceptual. A conceptual model is just a way of thinking about something, either a topic or a real thing like an atom. So we're going to be looking at conceptual models to visualize the atoms. The atom. I'm not going to have you make a model of the atom like you might have done back in elementary school, because those don't really make much sense. The scale is wrong. Okay, so you've already learned about one model of the atom. We talked about J.J. Thomson and the cathode ray tube and the fact that he discovered that electrons were in atoms. He came up with a plum pudding model of the atom, just a model. He had equal numbers of positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons, just negatively charged electrons and positively charged protons, just scattered about the atom in some sort of jelly or cookie dough. Okay, that model of the atom was quickly misplaced or displaced, by Rutherford's nuclear model. His nuclear model of the atom, the idea of a nucleus, a dense positively charged core, came about after his gold foil experiment and his interpretation of what he had seen with the gold foil experiment. So he had a positively charged nucleus, that would be like 4 positive charges, and negatively charged electrons around it somewhere, just kind of randomly. Maybe they were all on one side, maybe they were on the other, maybe they were here, and here. He didn't specify where those electrons were, just not in the nucleus. Okay, the next model that people talk about was that the model described by Niels Bohr, Bohr. He was a Danish physicist, and his model is known as the planetary model. And it is how most of us think about the atom, but it's not really correct. But most of us, if we think about the atom at all, think about a nucleus and electrons kind of spinning around the nucleus in orbits like planets around the sun. So that's another conceptual model. It's not the last one you're going to see. But what we want to ask next is, how did Bohr come up with this model? How did his model come to be? And that comes about because of light and the properties of light. So that's it for now.